What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
That's would solve a lot of the world's problems, honestly. If people just stopped for a second to think, hey, this person that I'm about to do this terrible thing to also is a person just like me. Maybe they wouldn't like it as much as I do, and I'm not going to do it. I think that's something that the world needs to get on.
Now here's a dark thought on that.
Yeah.
The fact that laws do exist, though,
Mm-hmm.
and they are the reason that some people, many people,
Mm-hmm.
who may be psychopaths, whatever you want to say they are,
Right.
decide, you know what, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
And the thought has nothing to do with the other person,
Sure.
that if the law wasn't there, they'd do it in a fucking second.
Oh, yeah.
And they might enjoy it. Think about how many
Yeah.
people might be out there. That's a very dark thought to have. It's not everyone, but, you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's the thing I just said. In a perfect world, if everybody thought that way, no bad things would happen, because we would all be aware of what we're all thinking and how, we all feel the same things, to varying degrees, and we don't appreciate horrible things happening to us. But laws exist because the world is not perfect, so
That's right.
as much as I would love that sentiment to be in everybody's mind, it's impossible. It's just the way I don't know, organic life is, human life is. But it's still good to try and make as many people aware of that as possible. That everyone, you should treat. It's so funny because these things that we heard when we were kids, treat others how you want to be treated. That's just like, okay, I'll think about that maybe, but really think about that. Treat other people how you want to be treated.
Unless you want to be treated badly, too.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of people, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I believe in the golden rule,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
But like sometimes when you think about it literally, you're like, you better be okay with yourself.
Yeah.
Because that can go the wrong way.
Right.
Fast.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you're talking about leading with. I think the definition of the word morality, I don't know it offhand, which is kind of crazy.
I don't
to
either.
think about.
Actually, weird.
But like that's what you're looking at it. Like morality has to do with how you treat a fellow human being.
Right. Exactly. That's. I think that's the basis of morality and that's the basis of good and evil in general.
Right.
Is what's evil? Things that make us feel bad, like things that we don't like. I don't like when someone steals from me. I don't like when somebody hits me unjustly. I don't like when someone hits me and I had it coming. But that's another thing. But I wouldn't like it if you murdered my mom. You probably wouldn't like it if I murdered your mom.
That's right.
Therefore, it's evil. I never try to bake like religion or anything into my videos. I just want to talk about it on a base level with everybody. But if there is a God, he cares what we do, good and evil, right? Because we're judged by our sins. But on a grander scheme, if there isn't, the universe doesn't really care what we do. There is no good and evil in the stars. The planets, they don't give a shit what we're doing to each other down here, but we do. And that's what morality is, what we care about and what we want to happen to the people we love and ourselves and what we wouldn't like to happen to us or the people we love. And the thing is that we should love everybody. Obviously, you're not going to, want to kiss every person you see on the street and hug them, but we should love everyone as people just like us, and treat them how we would treat ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I said this in a video recently, what is the goal of life? It is to eliminate suffering. Every day, from the moment you're born, 10 minutes later, whatever it is, you're going to get hungry. You're going to suffer. And the people around you are going to endeavor to eliminate that suffering. And you're going to be tired, and you're going to want to sleep to eliminate that suffering. And you're going to have all these things that are going to make you suffer in the world. And then what you do is you try to eliminate that suffering for yourself and others. That's everything we do. Every day it's a struggle to eliminate the suffering that's hanging over all of our heads that is human existence. So recognizing that the world to live is to suffer in so many ways, and that you don't want to be a problem, you don't want to contribute to that suffering. Having those things in mind, I think, would help the world in a lot of ways.
Side note, but in the creativity of your videos, especially like if people are watching a piece of that Hans Landa one, which I hope you guys go watch the full thing. It'll be linked below in the description.
Thank you.
But, you know, I see the detail of the timing. And, you know, what my head's doing while I'm watching that, I'm like, okay, he got that on the 3rd frame out of 24 on that one to make sure the eye flicked up. Yeah. And I know what that is, but you see how beautiful the result is?
Yeah.
That's what I hope guys like you, I have to remind myself this sometimes when I actually get it right, but like, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
You know, but yes, you're sitting up at night thinking about, I got to fix that frame in the morning. It never goes away.
Well, and I was telling you before that the channel, I started it for a few different reasons, but my original idea for the channel was I've been writing a book that's unfinished and not coming out anytime soon, so nobody pressure me on this. But I've been had an idea for a book and been writing it for the last, I don't know, 7 years now. And my original idea was to use the channel as a advertising method for the book. You know, I was like, I'll get 10,000 subscribers eventually, and when I finish the book, those 10,000 subs will be 10,000 ads. You know,
this is cart before the horse in a good way.
Yeah, right. So my original desire, I should say, for creation was writing. Like I wanted to be a writer, and I still do. I still want to finish my book. You know,
that's not surprising. Reading your script, hearing your scripts.
Thank you, but the book came way before the channel, and when I made the channel, that's probably the hardest thing about my videos is everything you're hearing is something I wrote. You know, I don't go to a website or a wiki and sometimes I'll like cite an article, you know, or a video or whatever, and I'll read it, or I'll cite a passage in a book that I want to read, and especially I found in my videos that I do about characters that only appear in books and haven't appeared on film, or they've appeared in both, that I feel it's necessary to read like entire pages of a book, because you don't understand. I can't say any better than what the author intended when they were writing the words, right? Yeah, I can explain to you on the screen like better, because, you know, in words you can understand certain things you're seeing better, but in a book someone's already wrote it, you know, so I'm just going to read to you what they wrote, because how am I going to say it? I'm going to move a few words around and change their descriptions? No, they got it down. You know, it's their character. But aside from that, everything I do is me. It's my writing, and that's the hardest part sometimes. But that's the most enjoyable part for me too, because that's what I want to do. But yeah, every video is just me sitting there waiting for it to come. You know, descriptions, you know, I see this and this and this, but now how do I put it together according to who they are and what they're doing? So yeah. Sorry to go off on a tangent.
No, that's great, man. I love getting in the mindset of how this stuff comes together. You also do, like, with and you've hinted at this, or I think said it explicitly a couple times, but I want to draw attention to it. Like with these characters that have books on them too, like you're reading all the books on them. Yeah. As well. You're going through every part of it from both angles to get the full picture. And that's why I love to see a channel like yours that still should have way more subs, but I think you're at like 790 or something like that. 750. Whatever it is. Like, I love to see that the success is built off the details. And that's what it's all about. And there's so many channels out there doing great work. That's why when I see one like yours pop up, it's like a no-brainer. Oh, yeah. But there was something earlier we got off it. You had brought it up, and I didn't want to force it back. Oh, sure. But I'd love to go back now. When you were talking about like some of the racist thoughts that people could have versus racist actions or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, in America's history, our biggest flaw was slavery. Yeah. You know, we had that around for the first, call it, close to 100 years of our existence, 85 years, whatever it was. Close. You look at some of the greats, though, right? You look at what we view as a great. George Washington. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson is a bad example, so we'll skip that one. That's a good, skip that one. That's not a good one. But there are people that we respect in our history who were slave owners. And I struggle with this a lot because obviously, like, it's the most asinine concept to me, 2024 living Julian Dorey, right? Yeah. But I guess the base question to start with here is, were any slave owners not evil? Yeah, so again, I think it goes back to evil actions versus evil person, you know?
were they slave owners because they really liked whipping people? And
Yeah.
they enjoyed, they were in their bed at night smiling because they're like, oh, I have slaves. Life's so good. I just love slaves. Slaves are
Right.
great, you know? That's like an evil person, right? But owning slaves is evil, and using them as forced labor is evil. But are you a slave owner because your dad was a slave owner? Or are you a slave owner because everyone around you doing it and it's normalized, and so you fell into that normalized behavior? Or are you a slave owner because you actually enjoy having slaves and it gets you off? You know what I mean?
Like a Calvin Candy.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.